How can one measure time? Seconds, minutes, hours, or perhaps how long it takes me to do one of Mrs. Vessey's practice sheets. We spend so much of our time trying to slow down the clocks of our lives in order to try and complete everyday tasks that in the long run mean little to nothing. So stop wasting your time and listen up, because I'm here today to tell you how to put a stop to it all. Good morning, and as many of you may or may not know, my name is Bryan Chapel, or as some of the younger viewers enjoy to call me, Bubba, and I'm here today to tell you to slow down. Before I even get started, I want to put your life into perspective in order for you to realize how much of our lives we actually lose to everyday tasks. The average American spends 6 months in line waiting, 20 weeks on hold, 4 years on the phone. Wait, one second. Yo, what's up? No, just give him my chapel. No big deal. Love you too, bye. 366 days off sick, 11 years in front of the TV, 5 months complaining, 38,003 hours eating, 5 years on the internet, and 46,800 hours of housework. Now that you have heard how much of our lives we actually miss, I would like to reassure you that you still have some of your life that isn't absorbed by everyday tasks left in your life if you simply slow down. You are only left with something close to a mere fraction of what you initially thought, so you need to make all of those moments last. Now, it's very important to slow down and make those moments of your life last. However, it's also important never to slow down a little too much. Upon that note, there's a friend, or more accurately, an enemy of mine I would like to introduce to you, and who many of you are already acquainted with: procrastination. Procrastination, by definition, is the act or habit of procrastinating, or putting off or delaying important matters, especially something requiring immediate attention. I'd like you all to raise your hand if you've ever procrastinated. 8th graders, I better see your hands up. Say you're assigned to write a chapel on, let's say, the second day of school, and you waste this slim amount of time that is not consumed by everyday needs and tasks, playing video games and convincing yourself that you'll write it the next day. Well, now we're going to fast forward to the 5th of April, and you realize that you spent all the time that you have left in your life putting off important matters. Just for the record, I may or may not be referring to myself in current situation. However, there's a simple way to avoid procrastination and its effects, and that is by slowing down your time and recognizing your situation. I know, coming from me, this probably sounds real credible, but trust me, it works. I got it from one of my mom's lectures. The product of procrastination is usually stress and regret. However, procrastination will bring me to the point of my chapel: slowing down and paying attention to detail. If you ever find yourself having trouble in a certain situation and can't seem to find a solution, I'd advise you to slow down and take another look at the situation. By slowing down and taking a second look at things, you can be so surprised to what you may have missed. Upon that note, I would like to share a video with you.
Specifically designed to test your spatial awareness. Meet the Brain Games Double Dutch team. Now, what does jumping rope have to do with the brain? Well, Double Dutch requires off-the-chart spatial awareness, and today these kids are going to help us test yours. For this game, all you have to do is keep track of the number of times that either of the girls in green jumps. You'll count each time one of them lands a jump, like this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As you can see, these jumpers are pretty quick on their feet, so you're gonna have to pay attention to keep up. When the whistle blows, start counting. Ready? Go. So, how many jumps did the green team make? Did you say 38? If so, you agreed with 40% of our test audience. Now, some of you may be onto us, but for those of you who aren't, did you happen to notice anything else going on during the Double Dutch? Maybe a giant chicken strolling right through the middle of the set and doing a funky chicken dance? Now, some of you may have missed that funky chicken, but many of you probably saw it, and that's okay, because the chicken was just there to distract you too. Here's the real question. What color was the wall behind the Double Dutch game? Here's a hint. It wasn't the same color at the end as it was when they started jumping. The back wall was changing color the entire time, from bright blue to bright red. Nearly everyone misses it. But why? It turns out there's far too much information coming in through the eyes at any given moment for the brain to fully process all of it. As a result, the brain has to act like a spotlight, focusing our attention on some parts of the scene but not others. Now, most of you were probably paying attention to the jumpers, and some of you may have suspected that something strange was going to happen, and so you saw the chicken. But you probably weren't paying attention to the back wall. And what we don't pay attention to, we don't see. And hey, for those of you who managed to catch everything so far, did you notice that we also swapped the rope turners out halfway through? Gotcha.
The video you just watched probably left a handful of you feeling deceived and tricked, but you can avoid experiencing something like this in the future by slowing down the situation and paying attention to the details. Paying attention to detail can be very difficult at some times, so you have to slow down the situation and pay attention to these little details. Paying attention to details can be very important in social and educational experiences. For example, writing this chapel requires me to slow down and put a lot of thought into my writing while I pay attention to the details. Now, I hope you were all listening and not wondering when this boring chapel is going to be over and why I'm showing you so many videos, because I'm challenging you to pay attention to this next video.
I'm going to show you something that's not completely legal.
Amazing. But did you happen to notice all the things that have changed since the scene began?
Action.
I'm going to show you something that's not completely legal.
Go! Clear.
While we held your attention on the money, the table turned to a stool.
Go!
Apollo magically got a new hat and handkerchief. And all the posters and cards in the background changed.
Your brain just played a trick on you. We all think we're paying close attention to the world around us. But strange as it may sound, this is just an illusion. Go! Misdirection is an elegant form of attention control. Our brains only allow us to really focus on one thing at a time. So when we have you deciphering a mystery down here, another mystery can be happening back here.
So, did you miss the 8 things that changed throughout the scene? Don't feel bad if you were fooled.
Now, you've probably had enough of these kinds of videos because of their complexity and deceptive qualities. But if you are really to slow down and pay attention to details, you can avoid something like this in the future. Now, I hope that you all took something from this chapel today, and the next time you face a challenge, remember to slow down and take a step back to find a solution. Also, since everyone ends their chapel with a quote, I guess I'll follow the trend, but instead, I'd like to show you a clip from Ferris Bueller and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Thank you and have a nice day.